Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. Right now, this team is currently 2-2, and they're in a horrible situation. Yes, I understand we're early in the season. It's only 4 weeks, and we have a long ways to go. Dennis Allen is not the right head coach of this team. I said this last season. Dennis Allen is just a good defensive coordinator, and that's it. He is in over his head as a head coach. He wanted to bring in Derek Carr. The team brought in Derek Carr. So far, that hasn't worked out. And Pete Carmichael is still calling plays. Pete Carmichael is a terrible offensive coordinator. Pete Carmichael is horrible. Even back to last season with the lack of using Taysom Hill. And I'm going to tell you why he's a horrible offensive coordinator. You can only score 9 points in the last 6 quarters with guys like Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson, a good offensive line that played their best game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're able to go out and protect Derek Carr. And you have guys like Jamal Williams before he got injured. You had all these good players, but yet you can only put up 9 points. This is terrible for this team. This is a very good offense, personnel-wise, coaching-wise. They're terrible because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. It was a 3rd and 5 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All you have to do is just get 5 yards. You've called screens the entire game because you targeted Alvin Kamara 14 times. Yes, they targeted Alvin Kamara 14 times in this game. Instead, you don't call a screen pass in this situation. You call verticals down the field. 15 and 16 yards out when all you need to pick up is 5 yards. It was no check down option for Derek Carr, leaving him dead to rights to just go and get sacked in this game. And Derek Carr shouldn't have played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It should have been Jameis Winston. I understand Jameis Winston threw an interception. Derek Carr's dealing with a shoulder injury all week. Instead, you go out there and put him in harm's way. He ended the game 23 of 37 for 127 passing yards. So he's just dinking and dunking the ball downfield the entire time. While Alvin Kamara got 14 targets, guess how many targets your number 1 wide receiver got? Chris Olave. He got 5 targets. He only had 1 catch on the day. 1 catch for your game-breaking wide receiver who had over 1,000 yards receiving last season. They have to do a better job of putting the ball in his hands. Michael Thomas is a very good wide receiver. He's a veteran wide receiver, but he's not the same Michael Thomas he was a couple seasons ago. Your best wide receiver and your best offensive player when Alvin Kamara is not on the field is Chris Olave. Get him the football. Use him the same way the Minnesota Vikings use Justin Jefferson. Move him around in the slot. Move him to the outside. Do some jet sweeps with him instead of doing a fake handoff with Derek Carr. They did a fake handoff with Derek Carr in this game. No one is fearful of Derek Carr and his mobility. So why are you doing a fake handoff with Derek Carr? You would think you would do a fake handoff with Taysom Hill in this game. A guy that is a gadget player that can play tight end, that can play slot wide receiver, that's been a kick returner, that's been a punt returner. You would think that you would go out and do a fake handoff with Taysom Hill. Instead, you do a fake handoff with Derek Carr, and that play gets completely blown up. Another situation, he ran the same screen pass in back-to-back plays to Alvin Kamara. The second time it gets blown up. It is no reason to why you can't score over 20 points with the offense that you have and the weapons that you have. And I get that Jamal Williams is out right now dealing with an injury. Juwan Johnson had to leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game early. I understand that, but you still have good weapons on this team. They're not taking deep shots down the field, and when they do, they don't connect. Rashid Shaheed is a very good wide receiver, but they don't know how to use him in this system. He only had 3 catches for 33 yards, and the longest catch of the day was for 12 yards. And you have Michael Thomas being the deep threat on this team? That is ridiculous. This is all ridiculous, and a lot of it is the play calling. Now, their defense has been solid. Their defense has went out and to try to win them some games. Against Tennessee Titans, they played very strong. Against the Green Bay Packers, a game that they should have won, their defense also came up big. Yes, they had a second half collapse, but most of that came from the play calling of Pete Carmichael and the offense not being able to go out there and score points. That hurt them as well. In week 2 against the Carolina Panthers, they won that game because of their defense. Derek Carr threw an interception that game, 0 touchdowns, and got sacked 4 times. And he's getting sacked because he's holding on to the ball for too long. He looks like the same Derek Carr that played with the Las Vegas Raiders and was the reason why the Vegas Raiders wanted to get rid of him. Now, I won't put too much pressure on Derek Carr because he's in a bad system, but he has to play better as well. This all comes down to Dennis Allen at the end of the day. He needs to go out and he needs to fire Pete Carmichael, because if he doesn't, he's going to end up getting fired. But the Saints have themselves to blame for this. Dennis Allen shouldn't have been back as a head coach, and Pete Carmichael should not be calling offensive plays right now. They need a brand new coaching staff, and they're wasting another year of this defense. I don't know how many more games this defense can go out there and hold up with their offense going 3 and out and turn the football over. It is hard for a defense to go out every single game and every single drive to go out and play at their hardest without getting gassed out and trying to get ran on over and over again when a team is 3 and out. It's 3 and out, and then it's a costly turnover. And these turnovers are coming in the worst times. It's right when they're about to score. It's when they're getting the red zone, they turn the ball over. This is something that happened last season. That was because of the decision making of Andy Dalton. But right now, Derek Carr's decision making isn't too much better. But let me know in the comment section below, how can New Orleans Saints get better? Can they turn this thing around? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.